the Hunter Biden scandal is just so difficult to not speak about because now they're editing reality. And when I say they, I mean the predator class, their minions, their Muppets in both the mainstream media and in politics and in big tech. Okay? They're all just Muppeteering the same. This isn't real. I mean, go watch that 60 Minutes interview again, or go watch my take on it, where the interviewer literally laughs at Trump and says, no, there's no scandal with Joe Biden. That's not true. No. Just no. That's not true. They are not the arbiters of truth. Now, I did notice that several of the senators were using that term, arbiters of truth. Now, as you saw last night, if you watched my AMA live stream, the whole thing was about more censorship. None of it was reality, okay? Not even Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, in my opinion, did a great job. You know, Ted Cruz probably did a little bit better than Mike Lee, but neither of them made it anything more than a partisan issue. And it is not a partisan issue. They have been censoring viewpoints that go against the media military industrial complex, the predator class, for a very, very long time. And they have backed up their fact checkers. It's just now more out in the open about everything now for a very long time. When you see Popular Mechanics, again, became the arbiters of truth for Hearst Publications and The Nation, right, via 9/11, and they can still pump out propaganda and lies that are easily debunked, you know, on this forum, live. Where are we really? Well, we're in a new world where we just, can you imagine? See, when that woman laughed in his face and said that there is no scandal with Joe Biden, I would have looked at her, I would have said, would there be a scandal if my grown son, Eric or Don Jr., were texting me about having a sexually inappropriate relationship with my 14-year-old granddaughter, his niece? Would that be a scandal? If there were pictures of his Don Johnson out and about with the girl in the bed behind him, would that be a scandal? And she can sit there and laugh, and they can edit all they want. But hopefully, again, in this era of digital information, you know, they would have that on tape and be able to put it out. Then I would have said, would it be a scandal if I was being referred to as the big guy, as one of my sons cut $1 million plus deals to meet me while I was the president? Would that be a scandal? No, it's not. No, it's not. And that actually gets taken a step further with Joe Biden going on Oprah and saying that Hunter is the smartest guy he knows. Really? Let me tell you something about the smartest people that I know. The smartest people that I know have never had a crack addiction. That's never, okay? That, at least the ones that I know that I find very intelligent, that I interact with, they never had a severe crack addiction. The smartest people that I know don't have a multitude of videos and pictures of them with said crack pipe or with said meth pipe and a bunch of hookers. And maybe worse, but that's what we've seen so far, right? Now, those are the smartest people I know. But the smartest people that Joe knows do that. But we're not in an inverted reality. Can you imagine, you know, again, I'm an older guy. I get it. I'm 41. But can you imagine in a Reagan era or even a Clinton era or even maybe a Bush 2 era, certainly a Bush 1 era, anything like this coming out? You know, obviously before the days of laptops, like let's say they got a bunch of Polaroids and VHS tapes of, you know, George Bush Jr. Do you think that George Bush Sr. would have lasted? No. Probably would have had to resign. He certainly may have not been able to get the election. I think he ran against Dukakis in '88. But again, we're in an inverted reality of authoritative sources. And before I go on the spiel on how you can support me over on the GoFundMe and obviously through the Rockfin if you are a premium member, I got an update on my phone, okay? And basically I saw it. Let's see if we can bring that up there. But right there you can see Boris Johnson and it says Channel 4 News. Now, I'm getting a notification for authoritative sources, right? And then it says I'm subscribed to Channel 4 News. I don't remember, maybe in a drunken stupor. I don't know why I would be subscribing to Channel 4 News, a European outlet. I never did. I'm wondering if we're now at the point where YouTube is looking at not only my content, but what I'm watching, and they are now subscribing me to news networks they hope that I will watch, and then notifying me. I certainly, again, I don't have the bell ring on. You can see that even though I'm subscribed, but I am getting notifications. See, they are so desperate in big tech to force upon you an establishment version of events that this may be the new thing. This may be the next thing in pushing content, not just suggested. Now you're going to get notifications. Notifications on what they want to sell you is reality. Okay? But we don't do that here, right? We don't do that here at all. We try to maintain a objective perspective, one that is not about left or right, liberal or conservative, a false dichotomy of reality, right? We're not about that. We're about right and wrong and calling out every side for their bullshit, period. And, I have this one guy who's constantly in my comments section over in Twitter trying to say Joe Biden isn't senile. What are you talking about? And then I have other people on Facebook. What do you work for the Trump campaign? I was calling Joe Biden, senile and in the stages of early onset dementia back when it was the primary debates, when he was talking about record players and babies, right? When he couldn't get out a website. Oh, Joe, when he was clearly losing it. Clearly losing it on stage. I never thought that the establishment would put him in a position to be the president of the United States. I thought he was, obviously he's a placeholder now, but I thought he was up there to fill the stage and, put out their astute establishment, full spectrum dominance talking points. That's all I thought he was there for. I thought he was there to try to push a Pete Bootlicker at the end of the day. Certainly not a Castro, but I thought that, they were looking at Bootlicker, certainly Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. I thought maybe they would try to grease Cory in there, but he is just such a slime bag. He probably has so many skeletons in his closet. They said, you know what, maybe we can't do Cory. Or Grandma Oatmeal, right? Klobuchar, I couldn't actually see, getting people, but none of them were, their establishment, they were terrible. Tulsi Gabbard was it. She was the only true person out there. Okay. So, guys, again, I just want to remind you that we're doing it live. We're doing it here Monday through Friday for free while it's live. And I've been leaving them up a little bit longer. And by the way, yesterday, again, I didn't cut anything out of that. So it's only on Rockfin. That's why you got to make the free Rockfin account and tell everybody else, make the free Rockfin account. Come join the fun. Come join in the comments. Okay. Meanwhile, still make sure that you're checking out the Burmis Brigade over here on YouTube. That's where we're reaching the largest audience. Again, when you have these big tech hearings and you've got the head of Google there and you don't point out, well, you are the largest search engine in the world. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. You have the largest operating system, Android, the platform in the world. Okay, YouTube is also the largest video streaming platform in the world. You obviously have a monopoly. That's obvious. But then they don't want to talk about, again, the relationships with the National Security Agency, with the intelligence community, the relationship, the large one, with NASA and quantum computing and artificial intelligence and data harvesting, right? All those things. Remember, Google, Eric Schmidt, okay, they're one and the same, right? And even though Eric Schmidt has distanced himself from the company, he even left amidst the Me Too movement, became like a consultant for Alphabet, but still on the National Security Advisory Board. Oh. So Schmidt, I mean, it's like peanut butter and jelly, baby. You can't talk about Google and without talking about Schmidt, without talking about, Dragonfly and the Chinese form of internet censorship. They are obviously a monopoly. And they are obviously heavily integrated into, this DARPA, media, military, mind control, transhumanist movement. Oh, you don't think it's about transhumanism? Look up Ray Kurzweil, okay? A genius guy. The guy who brought us, the Kurzweil keyboard, but much more predicted these little bad boys right here. Well, he's been talking about the singularity for years. He's been talking about not only prolonging his life forever, but then resurrecting his dead father, and then basically traveling the stars as beings of light and being able to take whatever form they want. Seriously what he's talking about. Google hired him. And, I always say it's the end of life division, but really it's him trying to end death. And that's why we do it live. We're going to do Google hires Ray Kurzweil. Google hires Ray Kurzweil. There it is, Kurzweil. As director of engineering there. But let's get to end death. Why Ray Kurzweil thinks we'll cheat death in this lifetime. Now, this is before they hire him, that article. I guess not, because there's the full-time engineering director. Okay. By hiring Kurzweil, Google just killed the singularity, please. I think the singularity is a myth. And there's Ray. He's been talking about this for a long time. They say this is focused on machine learning and language processing. Okay, I'm telling you, we have to find it. Technological security. He will join Google to work on new projects on machine learning. Let's see if we can do a news search. Yeah, there it is. It's the headline. and look, that's a newer article. How Silicon Valley's elites hatched their multi-billion-dollar scheme to cure death. There it is. Okay? This is the real deal. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. If you're not paying attention, if you want to, hide in the shadows and don't think transhumanism is the real deal, it's here. Calico, a company that wants to halt aging. Or it might be Calico. All right. Oh, there's Larry Page. Yeah. Well, we love Larry. There he is. Good job. Good job. And let's see. Let's find where Ray is in this article. He's in it quite a bit. There it is. Levinson had been aware vaguely of various efforts to extend life. He had heard of Ray Kurzweil's prescriptions for radical life extension, had come across Aubrey de Grey's work on abolishing aging here and there, and suspected the National Institute on Aging, Harvard, MIT, and other organizations of that ilk had likewise dabbled in the question. But this was a different beast entirely. Google was involved, and Google had a way of bending the fabric of culture and economics the way black holes bend light to gravity. So there it is. As I said, I wish people would realize that this is a very real movement. I'm not just talking about an automation nation and transhumanism because I'm trying to frighten you. Okay, I'm trying to put this into perspective. So continuing on before we really get into the stories, because we kind of broke off, I want to thank those that are watching live, 16 viewers. I'm sure we'll get to like 20 or 25. We should be getting to 200-300. That's what we need to do. We need to tell people about the show, tell people where they can find it exclusive and live, and get people to sign up for a free account here. Because again, how much longer will I be on the other platform? I don't know. That's a good question. How much longer will you be able to access my documentary films for free on that platform? Loose Change Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture are all free right here, right now. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have Shade in Rockfin for free. I'm pretty sure the Loose Change Watch Along at least is available on Rockfin, and Fabled Enemies may also be. I've really got to check through and look for myself.